Hello and welcome to Cricket Kadaigal. This is a channel where I summarize 5 micro stories from a game and try to find small patterns. Let's get into the segment. Our first micro story is the fact that India has the 6 wicket trouble. We usually bowl so well, take 5, 6 wickets, and then lose it from there. But today, that didn't happen. We saw the way India bowled, where after taking the 6th wicket, very little leeway was given to Australia. We've seen this happen in the past where I think we have bad memories from Bangladesh where Mehdi Hassan Miraz scored runs coming in after the 5th wicket's fall. And there have been 30 instances, or rather in the last 30 ODIs, 16 instances of India actually doing well, where they take the 6th wicket below 200 and then make the side fold up. But there are 14 instances where it's not happened, and that's what scares us as fans. And in fact, that in fact, my fear has been put as a tweet out by Ajinkya Damdare, and he also mentions the same point there. But yes, India did well on this count. The second point that I have is the bowling arsenal of both the teams and where the difference exactly was. So there's a stat called fall shot generation. What it exactly means is, let's say when a batsman misses the ball or edges the ball, he's not in control of the ball. So it's called a fall shot. So the number of fall shots elicited by a bowler is where you create opportunities. And I thought India created more opportunities even in the pace bowling department, though you would say, hey, Australia bowled better, man. They had us for 2 for 3. We were struggling. But Australia at least played better when they batted. But that's not the case, as much as the scores might show a different story. The fall shot generation that our pacers basically brought about was at least 5 percentage points higher than what Australia had, or rather 500 basis points more than saying 5 percentage points. So not just that, India were better in the pace department in terms of creating opportunities. In the spin department, they were far better. 23.3 versus 8.3, no comparison. And I think that is where Australia lacked. They don't have a genuine spinning option after Adam Zampa. Their combination is Adam Zampa and a couple of part-timers, off spinners, and maybe Maxi, or if Travis Head is back. But I think Australia should try and have a slow left-arm orthodox bowler. I don't know if if they can get somebody in, get an injury out, and then get a slow left-arm orthodox bowler. But I think that's something very important, which Australia will realize that they've made a bad selection. My third sub-story today is how Ashwin, Jadeja, and Kuldeep combined together to form this amazing trio where we were able to completely choke the opposition. 30 overs, 3 maidens, 104 runs, and 6 wickets. Very often would you get figures like that. But I think what they've done is, knowing the surface, they have bowled to the plan. And if you look at this particular metric called the attack percentage, what it means is what percentage of balls have batsmen of this particular bowler decided to attack. So when Jadeja's number is 33, it means 67% of his balls batsmen have preferred to defend it out. It just means that batsmen don't want to take risk against this particular bowler. So when you have a bowler who has 67% of his balls as defensive strokes, 59% of his ball as defensive strokes, it already slows down the system. And I remember remarking and telling my friend while being at the game that these guys are not taking any risks against these spinners. The only time they had a little bit of fun in the middle was when Hardik Pandya came on to bowl, where runs were very freely flowing for those couple of overs. But otherwise, I think keeping the attack percentage low basically meant that choking runs at one end. And Jadeja was also taking wickets. So there were 4 wickets taken from these bowlers who basically had a very I wouldn't say defensive line, but they made the batsmen defend a lot. But if you look, on the other hand, if you look at Kuldeep Yadav, Australia have preferred to go and attack him. But even there, I don't think they've been able to take him out of the attack or make him leak runs more than 6 and over. Because all the 3 spinners went for less than 3.5 and over. So that way, I think the controls that the bowlers had on their variations and length have helped India come back into the game. And that ends our third story. My fourth sub-story is KL Rahul's abilities to finish games, especially chasing. Now, one thing that I've noticed is that, and I think this is something that I was noticing while I was driving on a holiday last year, and India was playing this game against South Africa. It's a T20I. Again, it was a low total, 100-odd runs. And I think KL and Surya took us to safety. So I realized that day that whenever you don't have too much of this run scoring pressure, and in a chase, you want someone to hold one end up and then, slowly start finding form and, start getting runs. KL Rahul will do that for you. And he does that very, very effectively. And we've seen that whole of 2023 in the ODI format, where I remember KL scoring 450s this year in about 7 innings. And all of those have come in a chase, which has led to India winning those games. Started with Sri Lanka earlier in January. They had a 75 against Australia in March. Then there was another 50 plus that he recently scored in the series just before the World Cup. And now, and the World Cup opener, Chepauk, he has gone and scored 97 not out. Unfortunate that he missed out on 100. But of course, we Indian fans will regard that knock as gold. And you look at his average, 58 is his average, 74 is his strike rate. That's the point I was saying. He's not a 90-95 strike rate person yet. But KL has the ability to lift his game when required. But in these tough situations, KL is your middle order man. KL, the middle order man, is far, far more valuable in KL, the opener. Very briefly, I was thinking, because Shubman Gill is not playing, will they be tempted to get KL Rahul against the new ball? It's good that did, because we have a gem right in the middle order. We always know KL Rahul as Kannur Lokesh Rahul. I was yesterday wondering whether it should be Kannur late cut Rahul, because I had this sense of excitement when he plays the cut or the late cut. He has this innate ability to, to do it effortlessly. There are a lot of runs that he's scoring. I mean, lot is what I was thinking, because I was obviously very biased towards that shot. But 14% of his runs, 370 runs in 2023, all of them have come, 14% of those runs have come, especially in these chases, from cuts and late cuts. And sometimes these shots that he scores, square cut and the late cut, they come at a higher strike rate. So it just shows that he's in a very confident zone when he's playing these shots. Because at 143 strike rate is almost double of his usual strike rate of about 74. So I'm just trying to wonder if this is his favorite shot. At least it's my favorite shot when I look at KL Rahul playing. And that brings to end of our fourth sub-story. Our fifth point or sub-story is the pressure that Virat Kohli soaked. It's often said that Virat Kohli in the 2011 World Cup had soaked the most pressure coming in. There was one statistical book that had quoted Virat Kohli. Akash Chopra had written that book. But in yesterday's case, when you're 2 for 3, it just looks like the World Cup semi-final of 2019 is playing all over again, and you're starting the first game of the 2023 World Cup just where you left off in 2019. I was there at the venue, and that was how it felt. That, hey man, what have we got ourselves into? And when Virat Kohli came in, of course, it was a very anti moment of sorts. Because Ishan Kishan had just got out, and it was I think he slashed at a wide one. All fans were irate, saying, why did this guy play this shot? And then there was big clap coming in. I was like, this can't be a standing ovation for Ishan Kishan. And then you see Virat Kohli walking in. So there's just these 5 seconds of transition between that despair of Ishan Kishan getting out and Virat Kohli walking in. Of course, I'm sure Rahul Dravid told him enough on what to expect, because he's faced that for a large part of his career with Sachin Tendulkar coming in when he went out or when he got out. But yeah, coming to how the stat basically shows, Virat Kohli as a player, if you look at it, has been able to soak that pressure. Now, the first 20 balls, his strike rate was just 25. He was able to defend, not play any unnecessary strokes, though there was this one shot where I think there was a very fast ball from Pat Cummins bouncing, and also I think came on faster than Virat expected. As a result, it got the two end of the bat. Spooned Mitchell Marsh, who was running to catch. Luckily, the catch got dropped. When the ball went in the air, I had the same feeling in my heart when Sachin Tendulkar did that to McGrath in the 2003 World Cup final. But in that case, it was a wicket. In this case, the catch was dropped. And yes, we live to see another day. So Virat Kohli used that chance and played a chanceless innings after that. Only 6 boundaries in his knock of 85. I thought he deserved a century. He would have, made the nation sleep better. But that didn't happen. And that's probably why it's regarded as one of Virat's great knocks. I was reminded of the way I think Virat in a T20 game would come in, where I think against Pakistan in Dhaka, where they would get Rohit Sharma, Suresh Raina, and some other, I think Ajinkya Rahane out very quickly. And I think Pakistan, Mohammad Amir is raring to go with all that pace and swing, and Virat Kohli just stands tall in between. I think it happened either in that T20 in the Asia Cup just before the T20 World Cup, and also probably in the T20 World Cup. So that it reminded me of that, because it's a very hard fought knock, and those runs are premium, especially against the bowling attack that it came against. So Virat did very well. He was able to increase his strike rate as the game went on. But that is the end of our fifth sub story. I hope you liked what you're seeing so far. If you liked it, please do share it with your friends. And if you feel that, hey, I've missed a sub story here, please do comment. Looking forward to hearing your comments and sharing more such sub stories from the World Cup that's going on right now. Till then, it's Karthik Kannan signing off. See you around next time.